Yo, what is up, Ramley? Listen up because the rumor mill in Woodland Hills is absolutely cooking right now, and it is not looking good for our squad. We are talking about a massive threat brewing right in our own division that could honestly dismantle everything we have built on defense. You need to stay tuned because this draft insight is wild. Before we dive into this nightmare scenario, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We are the best fan base in the world, so let us keep growing together. Jeremiah Love is the name that should be keeping every Rams fan awake at night as we head into April. The Notre Dame superstar is officially at the center of a draft day conspiracy that is about to explode in the NFC West. According to draft insider Todd McShay, the Arizona Cardinals are falling head over heels for Love, and they might use their third overall pick to snatch him up. This kid is an absolute monster who racked up 1,372 yards and 18 touchdowns last season on just 199 carries. That is nearly 7 yards per carry, folks. He is a dual threat weapon too, adding 280 receiving yards and 3 more scores to his resume. The rumors from Phoenix say that while the Cardinals claim they want to trade back, there is a powerful voice inside their building demanding they take Jeremiah Love to strike directly at the heart of our defense next season. It is a calculated move designed to exploit our specific weaknesses. We have seen what game-changing, shifty backs do to our scheme, and McShay is reporting that the Cardinals know exactly what they are doing here. They are looking at Love as the ultimate Rams killer. Imagine having to face that kind of speed twice a year while we are trying to stabilize our defensive front. It is a terrifying prospect because this is not just some random draft talk. It is a strategic strike being planned by someone who knows us better than almost anyone else in the league. The connections here are deep and honestly quite personal, which makes this specific interest in Love feel like a targeted attack on our playoff hopes. If the Cardinals pull the trigger on Jeremiah Love, the entire landscape of our division rivalries changes in an instant. But you really have to ask yourself, why is the Arizona staff so confident they can use a rookie to break our defensive scheme? The answer lies with a former member of our own family who is now plotting our downfall from the desert. There is a deeper level of betrayal here that goes way beyond just a simple draft board ranking, and it involves a coach who has our entire defensive playbook practically memorized from his time in Los Angeles. James Conner is the powerhouse currently holding down the fort in Arizona, but he is just the beginning of the problem for our Rams defense. You see, the guy pulling the strings over there is Mike LaFleur, our former offensive coordinator. LaFleur spent years in the lab with our defensive coordinator Chris Shula and has worked with Raheem Morris for over a decade. He knows the DNA of our scheme. He knows that James Conner provides the power, but to truly break a Sean McVay-led environment, you need that lightning to go with the thunder. James Conner has been a consistent force, using that Shanahan-style run blocking to soften our defensive line over the years. We have watched James Conner grind out tough yards, but LaFleur is looking for something more explosive to pair with him. By using James Conner as the hammer, the Cardinals want to create lanes for a shifty back like Love. It is a strategy LaFleur learned right here in Los Angeles, watching how different styles of backs can stress a defense. The history here is frustrating because we basically trained the man who is now trying to draft our biggest nightmare. James Conner is a great vet, but he is a north-south runner. When you add a dynamic piece to that backfield, it forces our linebackers into impossible decisions. We have seen this movie before with other elite backs, and it never ends well for the Horns. LaFleur is using his intellectual knowledge of our personnel needs to put us in a bind. He understands exactly how to utilize a player like James Conner to set up the big play. This is not just about one draft pick. It is about a coach using his inside knowledge of our organization to build a roster specifically designed to beat us. The Cardinals are building a rushing attack that mirrors the most successful offenses we have faced. They are pairing James Conner with high upside speed, and that is a direct result of LaFleur knowing our defensive tendencies. It is a chess match where the opponent has seen our cards, and they are betting big on the run game to be our undoing. The numbers regarding our defense against elite running backs are honestly a bit staggering and point to a major concern if this draft happens. We have historically struggled against backs who can change direction on a dime. Look at the tape from guys like Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, and Kenneth Walker III. These players have proven time and time again that a speedy, shifty runner is the kryptonite to our defensive structure, especially when they are paired with a power rushing attack that wears us down. The stats show that when we face a dual-threat back who can catch passes out of the backfield, our defensive efficiency drops significantly. Jeremiah Love fits that profile perfectly with his 21 total touchdowns last year. If we look at the scenarios, there are a few ways this plays out. Scenario 1 is the nightmare. Arizona stays at 3 or moves back slightly and grabs Love. They immediately implement him into a rotation where he is fresh and explosive, specifically targeting our edge rushers who might be over-pursuing. Scenario 2 is that Arizona trades back and someone else jumps in, but the threat remains that Love stays in the NFC. The most consistent weapon against us is that shifty speed. If you look at Love's college data, his success rate on 3rd and long as a receiver makes him a matchup nightmare for our linebackers. We are talking about a guy who can turn a simple check down into a 60-yard house call. That is exactly what has killed us in the past. The data suggests that our scheme, which relies heavily on gap discipline, can be stretched thin by runners who do not just hit the hole but bounce it outside with elite acceleration. If the Cardinals pair Love with their existing offensive line improvements, the math for our defense becomes very difficult. We have to account for the power of the veteran presence while spying on the rookie speedster. It creates a pick-your-poison situation that we have struggled to solve in recent seasons. The scenarios are leaning towards Arizona making a move that specifically counters our defensive philosophy. Whether they take him at 3 or pull off a trade to get him later in the first round, the intent is clear. They want to force our defense to play horizontally, which is where we are most vulnerable. The stats do not lie, and right now, the numbers are pointing toward a very dangerous rookie entering our division. Look, as someone who follows this team's every move, this news feels like a gut punch. Mike LaFleur is a brilliant offensive mind, and the fact that he is targeting Jeremiah Love tells me he sees a massive hole in our current defensive roster. We have spent so much time worrying about the pass rush and the secondary that we might be overlooking a fundamental flaw in our run defense against elite speed. This is Dynasty Building 101 from Arizona, and it is aggressive. They are not just trying to get better. They are trying to specifically beat the Los Angeles Rams. It is a sign of respect, sure, but it is also a huge red flag for our season. I honestly think if Love lands in Phoenix, we are going to have to rethink our entire approach to the linebacker position. We cannot keep getting burnt by these shifty backs. This is the kind of insider move that changes division standings. LaFleur knows our defensive coordinator's tendencies because they worked side by side. He is basically using our own playbook against us by picking the one player who exploits our scheme's biggest weakness. It is cold-blooded, and honestly, it is smart. We need to be prepared for a dogfight in the NFC West because the arms race is officially targeting our defense. If this happens, our front office needs to respond immediately in the draft with some speed of our own. This draft season is officially getting intense, and the stakes for our Los Angeles Rams could not be higher. If the Cardinals actually pull this off and bring Jeremiah Love into our division, the pressure on our defense is going to be through the roof. It is a move that could define our rivalry for the next 5 years. I want to hear from you, Ramley. Do you think our defense can handle a player like Love, or are you as worried as I am that LaFleur is about to break our scheme? Should we be looking to trade up and steal him ourselves just to keep him away from Arizona? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And look, if you love this team as much as I do, you cannot afford to miss a single update during this wild draft cycle. Smash that subscribe button right now, hit the like button to support the channel, and join our community. We are building something special here, and your support means the world. Stay loud, stay proud, and as always, go Rams. See you in the next one.